everybody, Vagran Gaming. So what we're going to do today is take a look at Combat Medics in 5.0. Going to talk a little bit about priorities, which is a bit more important than a rotation per se, because what you want to do is focus on how much damage your allies are taking, and that kind of decides what you do as far as what options you have. So what I usually wind up doing is, before the match starts, we go ahead and we put trauma probes on everybody. Now, something I'm trying to get better at, because again, I'm not the best healer, I'm still getting the feel for this, but I'm functional, so we're at about the average level. So this is more geared towards helping out people who are new at Combat Medics, they're just starting out, or they're curious about the class. If you're a pro, there's probably not going to be too much for you here, but for everybody else, this could potentially be helpful. So you get your trauma probes on people, and when you charge off into a fight, you know, your allies, the enemies, the two waves crash together, and then, you know, people start taking damage, although it takes a few seconds. So what I usually wind up doing is leading off here with med shot, and then I wait to see who starts taking damage. Now, if people are taking like a light amount of damage at first, I'll usually throw my Culto Bomb here, and then I'll follow it up with Successive Treatment. And I try to aim the Culto Bomb so it hits as many people as possible, because it's a bit of an AoE heal, and when you chase it with Successive Treatment, you're basically layering two AoE heals, one on top of the other, and that can do some good stuff for keeping your allies healed up. Now, if someone's taking a lot of damage, I go for the back to infusion, and then using that procs your advanced medical probe to be used without a cast time. It becomes an instant. So I save that combo for someone who's taking a lot of damage and they need help. And then Culto Bomb, back to Successive Treatment. What I personally try to use those together all the time, but because of the short cooldown and the area of effect, I'll try to sprinkle in Culto Bomb as much as possible. So even if like there's like one person I'm trying to heal, I'll throw one of these at them, hit the med shot, and then see who else needs help. And then once it's off of cooldown, I combine that with Successive Treatment. Now, if I'm remembering it right, because I'm kind of gearing this off of people not having the set bonus, because a lot of people don't have them, your medical probe, if you use 3 of these, you build up stacks of field triage, so your advanced medical probe costs less. So that's just some good ammo management. And then, you know, you can pop your Culto Infusion, and then the medical probe on top of it. It doesn't cost you much ammo at all. The other thing is, when you build your stacks, and you can build these up from a combination of using your medical probe and using your med shot. Once you get to full 10 stacks, I save it until I see a bunch of people are hurt. And then what I try to do is Culto Bomb, pop the cell, and then you can just use as many advanced medical probes as you can before this runs out. Now, once I see it towards the end, I stop and I let it expire on its own. Like if someone's really dying, by all means, once your supercharged cell is still running, you can still spam out your advanced medical probes, but if their health is in manageable levels, I save it, because that way, once supercharged cell ends, I still have one more advanced medical probe off cooldown, and then I'll let you do back to infusion, advanced medical probe. And by then, you can go Culto Bomb right into Successive Treatment as a combo once that ends. Now, something to look out for, if your opponents are paying attention and they know what they're doing, once they see you pop your supercharged cell and you start to run out and use a bunch of your advanced medical probes, they're probably going to try to stun you. While my usual behavior is I save my stun breaker until I'm white barred, but if you're trying to keep somebody alive and they're taking a lot of damage, sometimes it's worth it to risk it. Use your stun breaker and try to get some more heals out. It depends on the situation. So those are just a couple of tips, and let's take a look at the utilities. I did my utilities. They might not be great for everybody else, but this is what I'm working with because I'm so used to playing a gunnery commando as a DPS. So we got Tenacious Defense, so lowers the cooldown of concussion charge and propulsion round, and tenacity. That's just what's useful for me. Concussive Force. Explosive round immobilizes the target for 4 seconds, which is really handy when you're trying to get away from somebody and you need some breathing room so you can heal yourself. Direct damage caused after 2 seconds ends the effect. This effect can only occur once every 8 seconds. In addition, concussive charge knockback effect is stronger and pushes enemies 4 meters further away, and I like that a lot. I like getting as much distance as possible. And also, as a little fun thing, if you're in a war zone like, I think it's Odessa Proving Grounds, and potentially, what's another one that has a big drop? I think I mostly use it on Odessa Proving Grounds, but sometimes it's handy to do it on like a Void Star. I call it the, I call it the root and boot. Basically, you root them, then you stand right next to them and hit your knockback and punt them over the edge. I love doing that. Next up, I took Swtor, or FOE. When you activate Field Aid on yourself, a foreign object excisor reduces all periodic damage by 30% for 12 seconds. So if someone's throwing dots at me, I like to pop this on myself, or if I see them throwing dots on someone else. Oh, well, this is primarily just for me, pardon me. If someone's throwing a lot of dots at me, I'll pop this, and then I'll take less dot damage, and I can focus on healing other people. I mean, a bunch of this other stuff would work. I mean, having Hold the Line last longer is always nice. This one I don't really think is that useful because my ammo management is decent. Yeah, this one might be handy. Have your interrupt be up more often and charge your stacks of supercharged gas by just by resting. But that's just what I go with. And then Charged Barrier. Charge Bolts, Grav Round, and Medical Probe build a Charged Barrier that reduces damage taken by 1% for 15 seconds, stacks up to 5 times. You're going to be using a lot of Medical Probes. That's good, like your go-to heal when your other stuff is on cooldown. So, that's what I went for. Now on the next tier, we've got Reflexive Shield. When you take damage, the active cooldown of Reactive Shield is reduced by 3 seconds. The reason why I take this one is, once people notice you're healing, they're going to start throwing damage at you. So I like having my shield up as often as possible, and I combine that with another utility where, once it expires, I get a heal. And what this allows me to do is, if I'm not taking a ton of damage, I can pop my shield, ignore the person attacking me, and I can keep healing someone else. It's just a personal preference for playstyle, but that works really well for me. Next, we've got Combat Shield. Reactive Shield now further decreases ability activation pushback by 30%, increases all healing received by 20%, and makes you immune to interrupts. So it's basically for that synergy with the shield. I want it up as often as possible, and when it's up, I like to not be able to be interrupted, so I can keep throwing out those sweet heals. Trauma Stabilizers. While Reactive Shield is active, you generate a stack of Trauma Stabilizers each time you receive direct damage, stacks up to 15 times. When Reactive Shield expires, each stack of Trauma Stabilizers instantly heals you for 5% of your maximum health. If that hits 15 stacks and it expires, it's basically going to heal you up pretty much to full. Now, it's not perfect in that if they space out their damage or they see you using it and they just stun you and ignore you, you're not going to get much benefit out of it. But in the thick of battle, a lot of times people don't notice. So you can pop something like that, you pop your shield, the damage keeps coming in, and as a healer, you can kind of space it out to keep yourself alive. So you can ignore some of the damage, and once you get down to like 50%, 40%, it's kind of cutting it close. You start healing yourself to stay just above 30 because you want to stay out of execute range. And then once it expires, you're healed up to full. And it's just more breathing room for healing your teammates. I also took Supercharged Defense. Acting Supercharged Cell increases your defense chance by 15% and grants immunity to interrupts for 8 seconds. In addition, your endurance is increased by 3% and all healing received is increased by 3%. So this is great because you're going to be using Supercharged Cell fairly often because people are going to be taking damage. And if you're the one that's taking damage, it makes it easier for you to heal yourself. Gives you that nice defensive boost, and your heals are more effective on yourself. So that's basically the important tips for right now, just to try to keep it relatively simple. So again, fight starts, ideally get your trauma probes on people ahead of time, and it doesn't hurt to put them on during a fight as well. So for example, say this guy was at 50% health, and I'm like, oh shoot, he's gonna die. back to infusion, advanced medical probe, Colto bomb, and followed up with successive treatment. Odds are he's going to be fine, hopefully. So then you can throw another probe on him and move on. So that's just an example of some stuff you can do. Hope this stuff helps you guys out. And now we're going to cut to an example of a war zone. All right, stay tuned.
Troops are on the way. Get to the artillery emplacements.
Rolo might be AFK.
Two.
Someone wants to go west to help Spades?
Rolo's here.
I would, but I got this assassin glued
Rolo's
to me.
here. Fighting a fuck.
I can't
Fighting
get
a
to
what?
you.
A goddamn operative healing and a marauder. It's not going so well.
I'm on my way. Never mind, I'm electroneted.
I'm away. Finally
And I got
killed the
another one
fucker.
inbound.
Is it Renegade? Probably will. Just killed him. I'm away.
Be on that scoundrel, buddy. God, dude. Hit him. Ah, he's not gonna hit him.
It's sacking
Nope,
him.
he let him run.
It's okay.
Scound, he's chasing Scound.
The western emplacements is ours.
Speaking
still
of
scan.
Renegade, I can't.
Yeah,
get
he's been all over me
stunned.
this entire time. Could keep killing him.
I'm running west because they've got another couple of people coming in.
So up and go to this guy. Hopefully he's an actual healer.
Or maybe he'll think enough to off heal you, we'll see.
Yep, he's heals.
I'm going back south.
Yeah, it's getting cleaned up.
It's already under attack.
I got one. You get it, Shadow here.
Big O.
So Spades wouldn't quit on us.
Game just. Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Here, what's going on?
My game just fucking crashed.
Shit, I'm away.
There's
Yeah, there's
two
one
or
there.
three up there.
Oh, shoot.
Plus,
They're still defending it. Jill, want to head back? We got this.
Okay.
Well, shit, another cabin south. Someone want to stop that cap, or are we just gonna leave
Yeah.
it?
Just lost the southern emplacement. Taking fire. Breaking through the Imperial shield. Keep up the pressure.
Just a short one.
What's that?
Did my spot get taken?
Your spot's taken.
Shit.
That's what happens when you rage quit.
Yeah, I know. Love to rage quit a winning match.
Thanks to your rage quit, we're not winning anymore.
I'd rather have rage quit.
Firing now!
West. This is bad Merc.
Yo, got it.
Yeah, we're good. There's 3 of us here.
Gotcha.
And back south.
Bunker is badly damaged.
Nice heals, by the way, Jill.
Thank you. Although, to be honest, I'm kind of free casting.
No, that Juggernaut's on you right now.
Oh, so he is.
That one?
I think someone else is over here healing, though.
Yeah, the other Commando, Thornton, whatever his name is.
Sir does not have a computer right now.
Drop my guard, going back west.
Inferior bunker is ready to fire. Their attack stops here.
She's still stick around here for a minute. We have our not siege either over here, Gurdon. didn't augment, but I got your implant ready.
Thank you.
It's a level 230. Wow, these MKs just keep adding more and more endurance, don't they?
Yep.
Oh, I'll try to cover you.
Thanks for trying. Not a bad run. I think I got invincible at one point. That and they only have 2% left, so it was worth it.
We took out the bunker.
See, some things are worth dying for.
The Imperial assault has been defeated. The coastline is secure.
Alright, I am rank 8.
Ooh.
Nice heals.
Yeah, that wasn't so bad.